Our next pitcher is John Byrnes from the Center for Aggression Management.
Good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Dr. John Byrnes. I am the founder and CEO of the Center for Aggression Management, Inc. And I'm here, of course, to compete, but also to speak to all of the investors that might be in this room, because I believe you should consider investing in our Critical Aggression Prevention System, or CAPS, as we'll refer to it going forward. Because you see, it's not just what the problem is, it's the magnitude of this problem. We believe, and I expect to share with you, how this problem is a billion-dollar problem which offers a billion-dollar solution. So, when you think about the world today, and here's why. I mean, violence and assaultive behavior, abuse, bullying is pervasive in our society today. But as veterans, it should be a strong concern to us that, according to Health.mil, sexual assaults and sexual harassment is a significant problem. And 22 suicides per day is flatly unacceptable. So the solution, CAPS provides a significant solution in that it helps you get out in front of these incidents and actually prevent them from occurring with scientific reliability. Now, because I use that phrase, I'm going to dedicate an entire slide to exactly what that means. And without violating privacy regulations like HIPAA in our hospitals, FERPA on our school campuses, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. All critical elements to make this solution work best. So CAPS is so unique and innovative, it takes too much time to illustrate to you an effective way in the time allotted. So I prepared a video that will help you. It'll share with you how understanding aggressive behavior enables you to get out in front and prevent these behaviors from the beginning. You'll learn all about the primal and cognitive aggression. It'll help you understand the foundation for this work.
We discovered there are two kinds of aggressive behavior. One we call primal, the other we call cognitive. Primal aggression is built on the primal instincts of fight or flight. It is fueled by adrenaline, that connection between aggression, the production of adrenaline, the increase in the heart rate that we can both identify but most importantly measure. When I was working with the military, we were using infrared, and we were able to identify a person's pulse rate remotely and watch it go up and down based on the stimuli. This is hard science, but it represents someone losing control. So what about conscious deliberate aggression? It didn't fit. So for this, we developed cognitive aggression. Cognitive aggression is built upon intent. Quite simply, what is your intent with this person or persons? Is it in your interest and theirs, therefore a win-win as it ought to be? Or is it in your interest and to their detriment? In other words, you're going to victimize this person. You're becoming a victimizer. There are 9 clearly defined stages, but we're going to start with a victimizer, then we progress to a predator who wants what you have, but they don't want to give you recompense for it. So they're just going to take it, which is often referred to as criminal intent. The highest level, the 9th stage cognitive aggressor, is the perpetrator of murder, suicide, or terrorist. Let me introduce you to Zacariah Moussaoui, often known as the 20th hijacker. A quick glance at these two facial expressions, you can tell they're quite different. The problem is, security and law enforcement think the guy on the top is their most lethal person. But in fact, the guy on the bottom is far, far more lethal. We've come to realize that when any human being, regardless of their culture, gender, education, age, sexual orientation, or religion, rises to the intention where they're prepared to give up their life for a cause, their body responds to that intention by losing animation. In essence, the body says, I'm dead, and it takes on that look, what the military call the 1,000-yard stare. But it's more than that. Their whole body language and behavior loses animation. The Israelis call it the walking dead. So here you see the primal and cognitive aggression continua. Primal aggression is on the right, cognitive aggression is on the left. The first thing that you'll see is that they're conjoined. What does that mean? When we put primal and cognitive aggression together, suddenly all of the body language and behavior that we've known about since the beginning of human history fell into place and became empirical. At the fourth stage of cognitive aggression, sexual harassment, conflict, bullying, abuse, discrimination, excessive force for both security and law enforcement all begin. Why is that important to note? Because doesn't using a phrase like sexual harassment represent someone exhibiting that sexual harassing behavior? Of course it does. We are reacting to these bad behaviors. We are not preventing it. With CAPS, we have the precursors. With scientific reliability and out violating privacy regulations, we're able to get out in front of sexual harassment, abuse, bullying, discrimination, conflict, and excessive force without violating privacy regulation. And of course, we go on to prevent assaultive and violent behavior. For human resources, there's one element that every relationship requires, whether it's personal, business, teamwork, leadership, loyalty, performance, productivity, or profitability. That element is trust. Distrustful behavior is aggressive behavior. We can identify it and diffuse it and thus enhance trust and therefore teamwork, leadership, loyalty, performance, productivity, and profitability.
You know, in order for in science, in order for something to be considered scientifically reliable, it has to produce the similar or same results over time repeatedly. We took this to Eastern Kentucky University, and after 2 years of application, they wrote this wonderful letter. This is the first paragraph of it, but here's the key. CAPS Meter of Emerging Aggression. This is our central analysis tool that is proprietary, which is founded on that primal and cognitive aggression continua, produced evaluations and results consistent with the observations of our student assistant intervention team, most of which were PhDs. Ladies and gentlemen, that is scientific reliability. To apply CAPS, the CAPS mobile app, the CAPS dashboard, and the CAPS learning management system, i.e. the online courses, putting all of that together, and because we do not violate privacy regulations, enables you to record and track aggressive behavior with a certain impunity. From a training perspective, it enables us to create a truly fully scalable system that enables us to solve any person, any organization, no matter what's the size. Now, from a training perspective, you cannot train all people with all skills. So we train aggression-first observers. These are the people on the front lines of aggressive behavior. And we don't teach them subjective references. We teach them objective, measurable observables of human-based behavior. And we teach them how to identify and report. That's all we want them to do. We do not want them to engage. Then we train certified aggression managers who are trained to engage and diffuse. Often these people are threat assessment teams, behavioral intervention teams, or whatever. Because we put all of that together, it enables us to do this system and not have any problems. Our first client out of COVID is the largest hospital system in the state of New York, 83,000 employees. When it's fully implemented, and it may take many years to get it fully implemented, the annual revenue will be just under $1.2 million. And realize there are 6,000 hospitals in the United States today. Also realize that employers with 100 employees they're asking these questions. How do we prevent sexual harassment, abuse, bullying, discrimination? How do we enhance teamwork, leadership, loyalty, performance, productivity, and profitability? And when you look at the possible marketplace, the potential revenue, we're talking about $2.6 billion with a B dollar opportunity. And that's just the United States. Think about, employers around the world are having the same issue. So on an annual basis, when you look at the world at large, it's understandable why 3 investors have already referred to this as a unicorn kind of opportunity. And one actually referred to it as a herd of unicorns. So we started this 29 years ago. We made these discoveries. We created a training company. We got it scientifically validated. And then we fully scaled up with all the technology. But understand, while we were training the Fortune 500 companies and in most all of the industries. I've got an incredible team. A lawyer, a CPA is also my chief financial officer, a CTO for technology, and an MBA. And they've been working with me for years, helping me make this transition. From a financial understanding, well, like most veterans, I bootstrapped this from the beginning. And now we're in a situation where we realize that all employers with 100 employees or greater need this solution, but they don't know that we exist. So we need an investor, someone who can help us achieve that. What are we going to invest that? We're going to invest it in media to get that exposure that we need. And what are we thinking? We project $2 million over a 2-year period will accomplish that end. And what are we going to put that $2 million to? All of the things that give us that exposure. And incidentally, in the hospital aspect, our client acquisition is $5,500 per client and a cost of sales about 17.5%. But we feel like that's kind of a priming the pump. Once they get to know we exist, we'll start doing that for a lot less. Who are our competitors? Well, there are millions of them. They're out teaching these awareness programs, an hour, 2 hours, where they teach you what to look for, how to report it. But there's absolutely nothing here that teaches you how to get out in front and prevent it from occurring. So, current programs, they're unreliable, they're notoriously inaccurate. The see something, say something is proven unreliable. And frankly, run, hide, fight is not a prevention strategy. Whereas with CAPS, it's scientifically reliable. It doesn't violate privacy regulations. It's founded in science. The technology is intuitive, inexpensive, and scalable. And when you can create an environment when innocent people don't become victims, when aggressive people don't become perpetrators, and employers save incredible amounts of money, there is no better solution. So to all the investors in the room, 3% of our primary market here in the United States alone is just short of 80 million a year, and 5% is 130 million. And that doesn't include any international market at all. And it doesn't include one of the hottest topics today, cybersecurity and identifying an insider who already has access and authority. From an ability to manage our capabilities, well, I've been doing this for 29 years. I've transitioned into this technology company, and I've got an incredible team at my back. Ladies and gentlemen, I have bootstrapped this like so often. The technology, it's paid for. It's paid for. And the potential, it's fully scalable, and all we need to do is help employers know that we exist. We need an investor to help us create that herd of unicorns. Thank you very much. I stand ready to answer your questions. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess I'll kick it off because we only have like a minute 40. So Norwell Health, you had mentioned them. Are they a customer now?
They are a customer now. They're now just rolling out. They're just beginning to roll it out.
Okay. And then, like, who are your target customers, though? Do you have, like, a specific industry, or is it like hospitals that you're going after, or who are you?
Yes,
targeting?
absolutely. We're going after hospitals right now because hospitals have a need greater than any other of the employers, frankly. They've now had a system where they have been told by CMS that if they don't produce a system that actually prevents 1/3 of all nurses, according to the American Nurses Association, are not going to be in the nursing industry coming forward. They've been surveyed. So they have a serious problem. This is a system that can help them maintain those nurses because we're changing the environment they're in.
One of the things that I noticed was as you're going through the great detail of where it's beneficial and who's working with you and, you know, the customers you already have, is there was a little bit of a lack on the return on investment. So the cost savings to the companies or the amount of employees that they were able to maintain compared to the loss ratio in the past.
Yes, I haven't described a return on investment as yet because the results can be so vast. The upside potential is so huge. It's really hard to measure that in a practical way. So I haven't stated that.
One quick question.
Yes.
So in the VA, we do have the trainings like PMDB, which is a disruptive behavior, and every employee has to go through that. I saw that you are a vendor in the VA also. Did you try there or not yet?
I've tried it, but I've gotten caught up in all of the policies, and I just haven't had much success there. But I would love that as an opportunity because there's no place that has a greater need than the VA.
Thank you.
Okay, John, thank you so much.
Thank you
Great
very
job.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you very much.